Sherry, I think what's interesting is, the U.S. lifting exports or restrictions on exports of chip design software to China. This is, I guess it's a sign of de-escalating tensions, but it kind of goes against this whole narrative of the U.S. trying to stop China from getting the highest end technology for chips.
Exactly. And my very initial reaction when I saw this story was, can you really blame the taco trade? I mean, not that anyone is blaming the taco trade. I mean, the market is doing very well. But what does that really do to the credibility of U.S. negotiation tactics or export controls and whatnot? I mean, it goes on and then it comes back off, and can we really trust these measures? So that is one thing. And sure, we got a ceasefire, and this is a sort of the mini ceasefire, but when it comes to this particular chip angle, will it lead to a bigger ceasefire, some kind of NVIDIA related truce? Because will it eventually lead to lifting curbs on high-end chip exports itself, or does it just stop with chip design software is another question to be asking.
Yeah, don't think they're going to go there quite yet. But I mean, these are two very strategic sectors, right? Chips as well as aerospace. And we mentioned GE being allowed to ship their engines to Comac. China, of course, trying to make their very first airliner, commercial airliner. So I was looking at some numbers here, Sherry, and with chip designers, what they're exporting is EDA, electronic design automation software, right? And the names that we just talked about, the ones that popped, Synopsys, Cadence, etc., they control, along with Siemens of Germany, they control about 70% of the EDA market in China. So, not being able to get access to their design software tools is going to hurt. But these restrictions have been only in place, May to July, not very long. Now that they're being lifted, I think it's should be okay for these names. For China, I think it's an even bigger win. But we'll see. They have a lot of niches and holes to fill in their chip development game. This actually helps them.
Yeah, and with this win or no win, I think what's going on in China in terms of this self-sufficiency drive is worth more attention, obviously. So a lot of export curbs on chips and other areas, and reportedly that's leading to big surge in chip design activity in China, domestic technology progress. So, and of course, the state subsidies are very generous there, so that could lead to something very different in years to come.
According to data from S&P, it is difficult to ask someone to choose just one stock from the thousands of publicly traded firms worldwide. First of all, a varied portfolio is the best approach to increase your wealth over time. No portfolio should be based on a single company. However, any portfolio must begin somewhere, and if I were to build mine from the beginning, selecting individual stocks rather than an exchange-traded fund, my first draft choice would be NVIDIA, the undisputed leader in generative artificial intelligence, AI. Here are 3 explanations. In 2023, NVIDIA's long-running success story received a new push as its graphics processing units, GPUs, were being snapped up by clients faster than its foundry partners could produce them due to the surge in demand for generative AI. GPUs, or parallel processing processors, are devices made to handle particular kinds of complicated computations that are readily broken down into countless smaller tasks that may all be completed at once, as opposed to calculations that require tasks to be completed one after the other. Parallel processors are excellent at the computational tasks that make up the majority of the heavy lifting in the field of artificial intelligence. These chips can be grouped into massive clusters to operate even more quickly. John Petty Research predicts that NVIDIA holds an impressive 92% market share in the GPU market. Its new Blackwell chips, the replacements for its well-liked Hopper chips, are in high demand. As stated by CEO Jensen Huang in the company's results report for the first quarter, NVIDIA's AI infrastructure is in high demand worldwide. The demand for AI computation will increase as AI agents become more widely used, and the output of AI inference tokens has increased tenfold in a single year. NVIDIA is at the forefront of this significant shift as nations all over the world acknowledge AI as vital infrastructure, much like electricity and the internet. Its NVDA software platform, which among other things offers libraries and tools to assist developers in working on AI models that are specifically powered by NVIDIA GPUs, enhances its competitive position. It should help keep NVIDIA's customers for years to come because CUDA is only compatible with NVIDIA's chips, making switching to another company's chips more difficult and costly. Before its run-up in 2023, NVIDIA was a stable business. In fiscal 2023, which concluded on January 29, 2023, it brought in $26.9 billion. There's nothing to be upset about. However, contrast that with its most recent fiscal year, which ended on January 26, 2025, and saw $130.5 billion in revenue. With $60.7 billion in free cash flow, NVIDIA had amazing resources to keep growing the company. That's correct indeed. With a market valuation of $3.8 trillion, the largest publicly traded corporation in the world continues to expand rapidly. NVIDIA reported $44 billion in revenue in the first quarter of its fiscal 2026, a 69% increase from the previous year. Earnings per share increased by 27% to $0.76, while net income increased by 26% to $18.77 billion. According to management, fiscal Q2 revenue will be roughly $45 billion, a 50% increase from the previous year. Because they require NVIDIA's GPUs for their data centers, the majority of the other largest tech companies, including Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, and Tesla, are NVIDIA's clients. I fully anticipate NVIDIA to keep the majority of the $1 trillion in data center spending that it projects will occur by 2028. Dynamic CEOs are highly favored by Wall Street, and there have been many of them. Consider the late Steve Jobs of Apple, Mark Zuckerberg of Meta Platforms, and Jeff Bezos, the former CEO of Amazon, to just a few. Huang should also be included in that discussion. More than 30 years ago, he started NVIDIA as a firm that produced gaming GPUs. Later, he redesigned the company to offer parallel processing capability for a variety of different applications. It is currently the best AI engine in the world. Huang has a vision for the future of the computer industry and the kinds of tools it will require to get there, and he has ensured that NVIDIA is able to provide those products. So, what implications does this have for NVIDIA's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication, so if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on NVIDIA stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now, let's get back to the video. NVIDIA is at the forefront of the AI discussion today because of this. As far as Huang takes it, NVIDIA will follow suit. Additionally, his leadership increases the appeal of NVIDIA stock. One exception is NVIDIA. This combination of free cash flow, earnings growth, and a competitive moat is uncommon in businesses. With a forward price-to-earnings ratio of 36.8, the stock is not inexpensive. But when you take into account how quickly the business is expanding, that price isn't absurd either. I believe it's a no-brainer to be the first stock you choose, but it would be a mistake to have just NVIDIA in your portfolio. Global Market Intelligence, shares of Vertiv, a firm that makes data center equipment, increased by 19% in June. The action is taken as encouraging news from firms such as Vertiv's partner, data center design firm NVIDIA, has allayed market fears about a slowdown in data center capital spending. Nobody enjoys investing during a bull market, particularly in the technology industry where boom-bust cycles appear to be the norm. The bears expect the data center and artificial intelligence, AI, spending boom to naturally correct. Furthermore, it is thought that the uncertainty brought on by the tariff dispute may cause data center spending to stall. For the bulls, data center spending is still in its infancy. Furthermore, spending will increase for many years to come due to the requirement for data center infrastructure to keep up with the demand trend in AI application-related investment. The fourth quarter of 2024 saw a flat year-over-year order book for Vertiv, which the bears will use as a precursor to future hardship. In the meanwhile, the bulls will highlight Vertiv's announcement in the company's first quarter earnings presentations in April that it increased its full-year 2025 sales guidance from a previous range of $9.125 billion to $9.275 billion to a range of $9.325 billion to $9.575 billion. Furthermore, NVIDIA's management commentary and first quarter 2026 earnings release showed that the market's underlying growth is good. For instance, in the first quarter of 2026, NVIDIA's income from data centers increased by 73% year over year. It's also important to remember that Vertiv's power, cooling, and infrastructure solutions for data centers are exempt from export control laws that apply to firms like NVIDIA who sell technology to China. Rising prices for goods originating from China and Mexico, areas where management is already rebalancing to reduce risk, are really Vertiv's biggest issue as a result of the tariff dispute. Overall, the June stock performance of Vertiv was positively impacted by the confirmation of continued growth in its end markets, and it is still a wonderful method to profit from the surge in data center spending. To stay informed about the latest developments from NVIDIA and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on NVIDIA stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now, let's dive into today's video.
And you're doing some example trades. I mean, he even talked about NVIDIA doubling in the future at some point. It's at 156 today. How would you go about an example trade?
Well, on NVIDIA, Nicole, I mean, I'm going to play the breakout continuation. It recently broke above the 153 area as a stock. This is an area that corresponds to levels the stock had published back in early July. There's a little bit of weakness today. We could certainly see some weakness in the short term continue amongst the semiconductor names because they've had such a tremendous run up. But nonetheless, I think that potentially that 153 area may hold for NVIDIA. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to structure a bull call spread for NVIDIA, and going out to August, expiration, third week of August, I'm going to basically buy the 155 call, and then I'm going to sell the 165 call against it. So it's a $10 wide bull call spread here. Altogether, just a few minutes ago, you could have bought it for about $4.50 a share or $450 a contract. So in essence, it's bullish trade. So we do need to see the stock move to the upside. 159.50 is break even by expiration, which is again the third week of August. And then max profit on this trade is 550. So it's nearly a 1-to-1 ratio, return on risk. And that max profit will be achieved if the stock does hit 165 or higher. So it's a bullish continuation trade based on the breakout, which happened last week, and it does correspond to levels that it broke out of, and they go all the way back to the beginning of the year.